Hey guys, this is just a quick video explaining to some of you how tariffs work. When Trump says that he will put 20% tariffs on Chinese goods or like 25% tariffs on European goods, let me just quickly explain to you that it means that you as a customer, as a consumer, will be paying 20, 25, however many percentage more, because tariffs are taxes. Let's use one example. So we have, let's say, company in China who builds some kind of a detail. It can be something electronic, doesn't matter really. They are doing this for, let's say, $10. It includes their margin. Let's say they have like 20% margin or something like that, like a healthy margin for manufacturing stuff, and they sell it to you for like $10. If Trump slaps 20% tariffs, now that detail to you in United States as it arrives to the port costs $12, because taxes and tariffs are the same and they are applied when you are actually buying stuff at your local destination, at your end destination, just so we're absolutely clear on that. And so suddenly you were paying $10 for that detail, now it costs $12. You if you do not understand whatsoever how the world and business works, and you think a person who bankrupted free casinos is a great thinker and a great businessman, and so if you think in this kind of a logic that, oh, we say to China that you absorb that cost, it doesn't work like that. Because if the manufacturing cost is $10, including there some kind of a margin, the company has to essentially remove that margin, and you cannot go below that cost. If you go below that cost, you cannot put any money into research and development, you cannot actually expand your businesses, you cannot pay to people for actually like manufacturing stuff. So there is certain level below which you cannot go. You as a United States customer, you're buying something from China or from UK, doesn't matter what country it is the country that you're buying these goods from, right? You are satisfied with the quality, you're satisfied with the time in shipping, everything is great. And now suddenly you're faced with challenges. You now have to pay 20% more because that company is not paying those taxes, because those taxes do not apply in their country. They are in China, for example, and in China there is no such tax. They are manufacturing as they were manufacturing and they're sending you these goods. It's the same thing for them. Again, if you're following Trump's logic, he says, no, China will absorb this cost in the same manner how he said that Mexico will build a wall, and where is the wall and who actually paid for it. Anyway, so now instead of $10, you're paying $12 thanks to Trump. His government now gets extra 20% of the things that you're purchasing from China. Essentially everything to you as a little business, for example, in America costs now 20% more. What are you going to do? Are you going to just absorb that cost and still sell to your end customer goods for like wherever your healthy margin was? Maybe your margin was double the price. Maybe you were buying it for $10 and you were selling it for $20. Now it costs to you $12, and maybe you will absorb those costs, maybe you will not. Maybe you didn't operate in a market where you could have insane margins. It all depends, obviously. So if you are not going to absorb this cost, what will happen? You will transfer that cost to the consumer. What is going to happen? Inflation is going to happen because prices will rise. On the other hand, what will happen with those 20% extra money that Trump will now be getting from China? Do you think he's going to be passing those money on to you to strengthen sort of Medicaid, Medicare, Social Securities, or maybe he will give all those money to his rich billionaire buddies in form of tax cuts for richest people and richest companies in the world who already basically do not pay any taxes? I will let you sit with this little thought, who's going to benefit the most from it all. There is a line in a song that I just recently wrote. Why do you cheer for America's destruction? Who do you think is going to benefit the most?
Boy, why do you cheer for US's destruction? Who do you think it's gonna benefit the most? Boy, why you cheering for billionaires to to destroy our country, destroy our country, boy.
I will include link in the description because, and probably put it on the screen somewhere, because I think it's a worthy to listen song. Let's just put it that way. Now we've established that below a certain level companies will not go. So why would a Chinese company would pay these taxes? What kind of logic is it? Like, just in which world this logic applies? If anything, it's the opposite. Think about that. If Chinese manufacturer will actually realize that not only they, United States, put extra sort of tariffs on China, and now the businesses still continue to pay them, now this Chinese manufacturer might think, okay, so they didn't switch to some other supplier, they didn't change us to somebody else, and they didn't build things at home, so it means that they're dependent on us. And what do you think happens when businesses realize that you depend on them? Spoiler alert, they exploit you, they raise prices up, and you're screwed because you cannot compete on your own. You have to buy from them still, and now besides the fucking tariffs, now you might be in a situation where you're paying more because the suppliers in China realize that you cannot do what they're doing, and thus they can exploit you. This is exactly what happened to Russia, who thought that they could fuck around, and now they're finding out who can go against the whole world, the whole good Western world, with all of the manufacturing and all of the stuff, and they thought that they will be able to produce stuff. They can't produce fucking shit. And now they're buying via China, via like Kazakhstan, via Turkey, and paying double, paying triple the price for everything. Especially if it's like a larger manufacturing tools that are kind of easy to track. And yeah, this is what happens when people realize that you depend on them and you cannot escape, and you do not have the ability to produce stuff on your own. They clap you back on your fucking stupid face. This is what's happening. And this is what's gonna happen to United States. Tariffs do not work. If you want to encourage more manufacturing, local manufacturing, at this point, you must give out incentives. Some tax breaks, maybe some interesting sort of, I don't know, plans, whatever it might be, to help bring manufacturing back to United States, like Joe Biden did with, for example, CHIPS Act. And now in like, I think Arizona, I think in Texas, somewhere there, Intel and TSMC are building actual like plants, new plants that will produce new electronics. And this is working because this is the only way it's working. Because if you slap 100% even tariffs, so double the price, if you like in the United States do not, or anywhere in the world, do not produce something, you can't just like instantly start producing this thing, whatever it might be. If you as a company, as a country even, do not have the capacity to produce what Netherlands are producing with their extremely important machines that later sort of TSMCs are using, and so on and so forth. There's like literally one or two companies in the world who might do certain things. So if you slap fucking taxes on them, it doesn't matter how many taxes, how many tariffs you're gonna slap on them, you will not be able to recreate that know-how, as it's called, right? Because you don't know how to do what they're doing. It's only incentives, only goodwill that can actually bring people to you essentially, and essentially allow you to collaborate with people. We are living in 2025, and most of people in the world realize that wars are not good to actually create prosperity for people. And incentives and goodwill and relationships and trade is a far better way to deal with people, rather than waging wars or doing some stupid fucking tactics, quarrel with the whole world, slapping taxes left and right, tariffs, wherever. Yeah, this is common sense for anybody who studied economics, for example, like myself. I have a bachelor in economics. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you that this is how it is, and please use your brain because it's, again, common sense. Every economist who studied even one semester of economy will tell you exactly what I just told you. And don't listen to false prophets. Actually listen to people who are knowledgeable and who understand what they're doing, not people who bankrupted fucking casinos 3 fucking times and who is basically a Russian asset working for Russia and for Kremlin. Okay, I hope it helps. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.